So we are saying that the pricing of the product is one of the important aspects that an organization can be able to make. And we are saying that this is because the pricing determines the success or otherwise of that particular organization. So we are saying that before a product is introduced in the market, a competitive price should be put in place. So to do this, the following factors are normally considered. Number one, we normally factor the cost of production in which you're going to be using to produce a given product. Number two, we have the level of competition. Then number three, we have the purchasing power of customers. We have the profit markup. The profit markup is the one in which the organization wants to report. We have the taste and preferences of the customers, and I know very well. This is normally done through the questionnaires. Then we say that another one, we are saying that we have the government policy on pricing, and we know that the government policy always affects the issues like when we normally have low, how do we normally call it? It's normally called, there is a name I'm looking for based on how the government normally regulate the prices of commodities in the market. And there are two things in which I'm forgetting in economics, where the government has to set out as a minimum price in which should be charged to a certain commodities. And that price which you are going to be charging, it is normally used to cover the consumers. And also we normally have the prices which are normally set out by the government to ensure that we are not the suppliers of the commodities are not affected by the low pricing in the market. And one of the good examples is when the government was saying that the maize flour is supposed to be costing, for instance, they were talking about 59 or 69 shillings. Now, when you consider about the suppliers' government policy, they made a policy on how much one bag of maize should be costing. They can also be able to set out the bonuses that are supposed to be given to tea farmers and so on. So that is the government policy on pricing. But we are saying that we normally have two major types of pricing. We normally have internal pricing, and this is the pricing which we have to incur when we are selling the commodities within the organization. We are aware that the departments within the organization might be in a position to require or to supply a given commodity to another department. That is when we are talking about internal and external pricing. So the internal is within the organization. External is when we factor the external demand. Now, when you look on the external pricing, we are saying that the pricing which is expected to apply to the external customers. The product is normally consumed by the parties outside the organization, and they normally include, we normally have the cost plus pricing, and I know this is what mostly applies in the majority of the markets, because the cost plus pricing, it means that I'm going to be looking at the total cost of producing a given product, and then I add markup. And that is why when you are buying a given commodity in the market, someone who is selling to you, or the seller says that I can't be able to sell at that price. Right? The minimum price, for example, they can be able to quote, it is 40 shillings. And that is what entails about the cost plus pricing. Now, when you talk about the target costing, we are saying that a target costing, when you look at it here, a target costing, we are saying these are cost estimates derived by subtracting the desired profit margin from the competition selling price. And we are saying in normal circumstances, the target cost is the difference between the expected selling price and the expected profit. So the main aim of target costing is not to find out what the new product costs, but what it should cost, right? How much is a product in which we are trading on the market, how much it should be able to cost in the real life situation. So the main aim of the target costing is we have said, but one of the key things in which you are supposed to be looking here, we are saying the main aim of the target costing is not to find, and there are some of the steps in which we can be able to follow there. We are saying identify the price that customers are willing to pay for a particular product. And in this case, we are saying estimate the desired profit margin based on the profitability requirements. And this is normally determined by the management. Calculate the target by subtracting the desired profit margin from the expected selling price. Ascertain if the cost gap exists. So the cost gap is the difference between the estimated and the target cost. And if it exists, then the design team should look into possible ways of reducing and eliminating the cost gap. Now, before we do a question which was tested in May 2021, I want to take you back to 2012. I want to take you back to 2012. And in 2012, it was a question which they tested in May 2012. And then after May, we shall look on a question which they have done or they have tested in 2021. Now, we have a question here in regards to target costing. The reason is why, Makori, we have not factored the first method is because the guys have already covered it. Because we don't have time, I think I should be able to look for a certain time to be able to work for that method for you. Now, in question 4A, question 4B, I think should be B or A. It should be A. Innovate Limited. It should be question 4A, right? So you can go through it. A minute. Now we can proceed. Can you be able to see the question?
Oh.
Right now?
Okay. Yeah.
So we have been told the Innovate Limited manufactures and sells a wide range of products. So the company is in the process of introducing a new product in the market branded Zido. So currently, the Zido price for new products has been calculated on a cost plus basis, and our marketing penetration approach to pricing has been applied. So we've been told the management has decided that a target costing approach should be applied to development and marketing of Zido. So the following information relate to the operations of Innovate Limited and the production of Zido. But we have been told in note number 1, the estimated production volume for the 3 years product market life cycle is as follows. We've been given for each year there, but we have been told in this case, we have been told that in the year 2013, production is estimated to be 32 units per labor hour. As the employee become more familiar with the production process, it is expected that productivity will increase by 3% in the year 2014 and a further 2% in the year 2015. It means there must be an analysis which you are supposed to be undertaking there. And also that analysis will be to factor the increment or the decrease that may be happening due to variation of different years. Now, but number 3, we have been told labor is currently charged to product at a rate of 240 shillings per hour. A 3-year remuneration package has been negotiated with the workforce. This provides for a 5% increase in the year 2014, a further 4% increase in the year 2015. Now we have been told material costs are estimated to be 9 shillings per unit of output in the year 2013. As a result of a long-term supply contract with the suppliers, this will be reduced by 2% at the beginning of the year 2014. There will be no further changes. Now, we have been told in number 4, no, not number 5, variable overheads are charged to products on a labor hour basis at a rate of 320 shillings per hour in the year 2013. Variable overhead costs are expected to rise by 5% in the year 2014 and a further 4% in the year 2015. But not number 6, we've been told the fixed overheads allocated to the products are estimated to be 8.68 million in the year 2013 and are expected to increase by 4% in each of the following 2 years. But we have been told in note number 7, research has indicated that the selling price of 30 shillings for the year 2013 and 2014 and that 5 per unit in the year 2015 will lead to the anticipated sales volumes. Now, a target profit margin of 20% has been set, required. Using the target costing approach, calculate the following: the total cost per unit for each year, the cost gap per unit for each year. Then we have the total costing, the total cost savings, which must be achieved in the 3 years of the product life cycle. I want to start this question from point number 2, based on the analysis. So let me share my board. So that is my board, and we want to be looking on. The analysis of the question. So today, from note number 2, you can be able to see we need some analysis on the question. Why? Well, let us first factor. The question is for May 2012. May 2012. May 2012, question number 4A. So we are going to be doing for 3 years. We have 2013, we have 2014, and then we have 2015. That is the analysis for 3 years. The analysis for 3 years. Now, from this point of view, now we need to start with note number 2. We have been told in the year 2013, production is estimated to be 32 units, right? How many units per hour? So units per hour. Units per hour for the year 2013. We have been told it's 32. It is 32, right? But we've been told as the employees become more familiar with the production process, it is expected that the productivity will be increased by 3%. So it means here I'm going to be taking 103%. I multiply by 32. How much can we get? How much are we getting there? %103%.
30. Is it 32.96?
That what?
$32.96. That is 33, is it?
32.96.
Yes.
But you've been told it is expected that productivity increased by 2014 and a further 2% in the year 2015. So I just come here and say 1 or 2% of 32.96. 1 or 2% times 32.96. How much are you getting there?
$33.62.
33.62, correct? Let us go to the next point. We have been told labor is currently charged to product at the rate of $2.40 per hour, right? So we are looking for labor per hour, right? We have been told labor is currently charged to product at the rate. So I must be talking about the rate per hour, labor rate per hour, rate per hour. And we have been told that they are charging 240 shillings, right, in the year 2013. So we have been told a 3-year remuneration package has been negotiated with the workforce. And we have been told this provides a 5% increase in the year 2014, 105% of 240. 105% of 240 is how much?
$252.
452.
252.
252. Then we have been told, and a further 4% in the year 2015. So it means it is 104% of 252. How much can you get?
$262.08.
262.08.
Yes.
So the question that you're supposed to be asking yourself, what is the labor rate, the labor cost per unit? The labor cost per unit. So we start with the labor cost per unit. The labor cost per unit is how much? So for the first one, I will take the labor rate per hour, you divide by the number of units. Because you need the labor cost per unit. I take 240, I divide by 32. Here we'll take 252, I divide by 32.96. And here we'll be able to take 262.08, I divide by 33.62. What is the labor rate per hour? The labor rate per the labor cost per unit. So that's
Yes.
The first
The
one?
first one.
First one?
7.5.
7.5. Judy, the second one?
7.6.
7.6. Makori, the last one?
7.8.
7.8.
8.
This should be 7.65. 7.65. Now let us go to the note. That is the labor cost per unit. So we are clear with the 2 points. Note number 4, we are being told the material costs are estimated to be 9 shillings per unit. So here you capture the material cost per unit. So here is 9, right? We are being told as a result of long-term supply contracts with suppliers, this will be reduced by 2%. So if you reduce by 2%, it means it should be 98% of 9. 98% of 9 is how much?
8.82.
8.80, right?
8.2.
Then from there,
8.82.
8.82. Okay. Then we are being told there will be no further changes. So it means it will remain at 8.82. 8.82. Now from that, after material, you go to the variable overheads, and we are being told the variable overheads are charged to production on a labor hour basis at the rate of 320 shillings per hour in the year 2013. So here we are looking for variable overheads. Variable overheads per unit. We are looking per unit, but the examiner has given you per hour. Now we are being given 320. 320. But we have been told they are normally charged to product based on labor hours. We look on the units per labor hour. So in this case, we divide here by 32, which is the units per hour, to get the variable overhead per unit. So the first one is 10, right? Is it 10?
Yes.
Now, can you be able to increase 320? Increase 320, we are being told the variable overhead costs are expected to rise by 5%. So it will be 105% of 320 is how much?
336.
Sorry?
336.
336. So 336, you divide by the number of units being produced per hour. 32.96. 32.96. How much are you getting?
Uh, 10.19. 10.2.
10.19. Now we are being also told, and a further 4% in the year 2015. So 104% of 336. 4%.
Pardon?
104% of 336 is how much?
It's 1.04 times
349.44.
349 goods, 0.44. You divide by the number of units produced per hour, 33.62. How much are you getting?
$10.39.
10.39. 10.39 goods. Now Judy is the one who is going to do for me the fixed costs. So we are being told we also need to factor the fixed overheads per unit. But the examiner here is telling us that the fixed overhead allocated to product are estimated at 8.68, right? So here we are talking about 80,000. So this should be divided by the number of the units produced in that particular year, which is 1.6 million. 1.6 million. So what is the fixed overhead per unit? Judy,
5.42.
5.42.
425.
The next one, we have been told the fixed overhead allocated to products estimated to be 8.680 in the year 2013. I expected to increase by 4%. So it means I take 4%, 104% of 8680. How much are you getting?
Sir,
Sorry?
Anim,
Yes.
5.43 because it is 5.425.
No problem with that. That one cannot make you fail.
Okay.
So 104% of 8680 is how much? I'm with Judy.
Ninety 27 200.
90?
27.
500, right? Divide it with the number of the units for
200.
that year. 1.
200.
Sorry?
90 27 200.
Okay. Divide by 1.8. How much are you getting?
5.
5.02.
5.02, correct? And we have been told that the increment will be 4% in each of the in each of the 2 years. So 90 27 200, you also multiply by 104%. How much are we getting?
Ninety-three 88 288.
93?
88
Uh-huh.
288.
288. Divided by the number of the units produced during that year, we produced 1.52 million. Getting how much?
Uh, 6.18.
6.18. So Judy give me the total cost per unit for 2015, Salat for 2014, and then Makori give me for 2013. Total cost per unit. Total cost per unit. So it means I just need to take the labor cost, which is here. We have material, we have variable overheads, then we have the fixed. Give me the total cost per unit.
31.93.
1 point.
31.93.
That 1.93. Good. Salat.
It's 22.86. Huh?
Which one? 2014.
Yes.
You have gotten how much?
22.86.
No. You have to add 7.65, 8.82, 10.19, 5.02.
Sorry,
Judy?
33.19.
Sorry?
33.19.
3.19. 3.19. Good.
31.68. The other one.
That 1.68. That 1 point. You can be able to write for me the total cost per unit somewhere, so that we can be able to use them later. So remember, we are being told the first one, which is 6 marks, to calculate the total cost per unit for each year, and we have gotten our 6 marks on that analysis. So if you have captured the total cost per unit, let us go to the requirement part 2. Requirement part 2. They are asking us to calculate the cost gap. They are being told to calculate the cost gap. And then to get your cost gap, you just tell me that my cost gap, we are supposed to be getting it by taking estimated costs. Estimated cost is the one that we have gotten there. Then minus the target cost. It means we don't have the target cost. So you ask yourself, how do you normally get the target cost? And we say the target cost, we can be able to take the selling price minus, normally take the selling price minus profit margin. Selling price minus profit margin. Now, we have 2013, 2014, 2015. We need to capture our selling prices. Our selling price for 2013. So for 2013, we are being told in note number, I think in the last one, second last, we are being told the research has indicated the selling price for this year, 2013, is 38. So we are being given 38 there. And then we are being told 35 for 38 for 2013 and 2014. Then for 2015, you are being given 35. We are being told in note number 8 in the last one, a target profit margin of 20% has been set. So you subtract your profit margin. So it will be 20% of 38. It will be 20% of 38, 20% of 35. You give me 2015, Salat 2014, Makori 2013. Hello?
The profit margin for 2013 and 2014 is 9.5, 9.5.
No, I need the answer. I need the target cost. Because you have taken the selling price minus the profit margin.
28.5 then in that case.
38 minus 20% of this.
Sorry, I used 25.
Sorry?
30.4.
30.4. 30.4.
30.4. 30.4. Then the last one?
28.
Sorry?
28.
Good. 28. So therefore, to get the cost gap for 2013, we are going to be taking our estimated costs. And remember, we were able to get that 1.93 minus the target costs of 30.4. We're going to be getting the answer there. For 2014, you do the same. the total cost that we got, it was at 1.68 minus 30.4. Then for 2015, tumepata for 2015 it was 33.19 minus 28. Minus 28. What is our cost gap? What is the cost gap for 2013? We don't want to talk. We close this class, we go away.
1.53.
1.53. 1.5, I don't know. So that's the second one?
1.28.
1.2.
Yes.
1.28.
The last
The
one?
third one is 5.19.
5.19. 5.19. That is your cost gap. That is your cost gap. That is your cost gap. Now, after that, we have been told in note number 3, or the requirement part 3, to calculate, we have been told the total cost savings which must be achieved in the year, in the 3 years of the product life cycle. So, the cost gap, it means in simpler terms, it is the difference between what we were predicting and what is the target, right? So, what we are getting here, this is the cost saving per unit. The cost gap is just like an amount that you are able to save. Because if you are able to get, for example, if I was able to predict that I'm going to be incurring 40 and incur 30, it means the 10 shillings is my saving, and therefore that is the requirement. This should be 1.53. That is the requirement in the examiner wants. So to get our savings, the total savings, to get our total savings, I'm going to be taking for 2013, you just say per unit is 1.353, sorry. Then you multiply by the number of the units produced in the 2013. So in 2013, we have been told the estimated production volume was 1.6. So you multiply here by 1.6 million. So for 2014, you do the same. It will be 1.28. You multiply by the number of the units that we are able to sell during that year. You are able to sell 1.8. 1.8. Then for 2015, you do the same. For 2015, you are able to sell how much? You are able to sell 1.52. So you just take 5.19 times 15, 20,000. How much are we getting there? The first one is?
The first one is 24,48,000.
2148.
24,48.
2448,000.
Yes.
Okay, good. The second one?
2304.
33.
23.
04.
1,000.
1,000. Good. Then the last one?
7.
7.
888. 800.
800.
Yeah.
That is how you normally calculate your cost saving. That is how you normally calculate your cost savings. Any question? Any question?
Who?
Question 3B. The digital electronics company manufactures cameras and video equipment. It is in the process of introducing the world's smallest and slighted camcorders with 3D, HD, and SD recording mode. The company has undertaken market research to ascertain the customer's perceived value of the product. The product's special features and a comparison with the competitor's product and market prices have been used to establish a target selling price and project lifetime volume. In addition, cost estimates have been prepared based on proposed product specifications. The company has set a target profit margin of 30% on the proposed selling price, and this has been deducted from the target selling price to get a target cost. The following is a summary of the information that has been presented to the management, where we have the project lifetime sales volume in unit, target price, target selling price, target profit margin of 30%, target costs, and project cost. Before target costing exercise, the projected cost was estimated as follows, where we have manufacturing costs, including
Also have non-manufacturing costs.
yes, non-manufacturing
There.
costs. Yes, the company then engaged a team to carry out a functional analysis on the product manufacture. After a careful analysis of the different elements, functions, and attributes of the camcorder and potential customers interviewed to ascertain the value that they may place on each of the functions, the following reports were given to the management, whereby the direct material cost bought in parts to be reduced by 1/6. The direct labor cost should be reduced by 80%. Machining cost will remain the same as the projection. Ordering and receiving cost to reduce by 75%. Quality assurance to reduce by 5/6 of the original estimate. Rework and engineering cost to reduce by shillings 90 and 20 respectively. Marketing, distribution, and after-sales services and warranty costs to reduce by 37.5%, 33 and 1/3%, and by 80 shillings respectively. Required a revised target cost and the cost gap.
Good. The target cost that we want to revise, you can see we are being told before target costing exercise. So the projected cost wise follow. This is the target cost that you're going to be estimating. We have to be looking at it. Then because we have to be looking on the projected, it means it is estimated. And therefore, the examiner just want a good revision here for the target costs, So let us go back to the board. Excuse me. There is a lot of debate which is going on in regards to the issue of a lady who was stripped naked somewhere within Nairobi. What do you think?
Those guys are fools. You don't undress a woman in public.
Regardless of being that scenario, my question is, was the boy child granted the justice?
Yeah,
Half May
but you
2021.
can never brand. You can never grant yourself justice through dubious means.
There is a guy who was injured. He did not call anyone to come and harm the lady. Is the guy getting the justice required? Or is it a cloud that this guy will continue suffering? Because I know majority of guys who are normally have some issues with the other motorists, on the road. But that being said, Judy is here. We can be able to talk that as gentlemen. So let us get back to the question. We are being given a good revision down there, and therefore, the most important thing that we are supposed to be looking at is the requirement part 1. We are being told to come up with the revised targets, the revised target costs. So here you just have one column of Kenya shillings, and we start revising it. Let us start with the direct material. Direct material. So we are being told in note number 1 that the material will be reduced by 1/6. So it means the remaining material will be 5/6. You multiply by the current cost for the direct materials, which is 3,900. So what will be the costs, the new cost for the direct material? What will be the new costs for the direct material? How much?
That's 250.
That's 2 what?
50.
That's 250. Good. That's 250. Let us continue. We have
Why 5/6 and we have 1/6?
But we have been told it is reduced by 1/6. It means the other proportion which will be remaining, because it has been reduced, it will be 5/6.
Okay.
Like telling you that, like the one that we did for material, being told it will be reduced by 2%, and we did with 98% is the same. Then we have direct labor. Direct labor. So for direct labor, we have been told what? Direct labor should be reduced to 80%. So it will be 80% of, is it 80% of 1,000? 80% of 1,000? Are we together?
Yes.
Hello?
800.
800. When you keep quiet, I know, I assume that you're not understanding. Then we have direct machining costs. Direct machining costs. So the direct machining cost, we are being told what? The machining cost will remain the same as the projection. So the direct machining cost will remain at 200. Then we are being told ordering and receiving costs to reduce by 75%. So ordering and receiving will be 25% because it has been reduced by 75%. So the proportion that it will be remaining is 25% of 80. 25% of 80 is how much?
20.
20. You're being told is 20. Then the other one you're being told quality assurance to reduce to 5/6. So quality assurance quality assurance will be 5/6 times what? 5/6 we multiply by 600. I think we are getting 500. We have the rework and engineering cost to reduce by 90. Right? Are we together to that point? We have been told that engineering and design, engineering costs, we have been told this. Rework and engineering. So let us start with the rework. So the rework currently is how much? 150.
150.
Right? 150, it will be reduced by 90. So the new revision for rework should be how much? Is it 60? Is it 60?
Yes.
Then we have engineering and design. Engineering and design. Engineering and design, you are being told what? Rework and engineering costs, sorry. Engineering will be 20 shillings. So I just take 100 minus 20, getting 80. Then we have been told the marketing, distribution, and after sales warranty cost to reduce by that 7.5%. So in this case, we are talking about non-manufacturing costs. So we start with marketing. So the proportion that will be remaining after reducing by 37.5%, it should be 62.5%. So 62.5%, you are able to multiply by 400. Give me the answer. Then we have distribution. Distribution given here, we have been told 33 and a third. So that 3 and a third, this means we are talking about 100/300 or 1/3. 1/3. So it means our analysis should be how much? Our analysis, we are supposed to be talking about 2/3 because we have been told that will be reduced. That should be reduced. So it means the proportion that will remain is 2/3. 2/3. So it will be 2/3. You multiply by the cost for the distribution is 300. I know this answer. This should be 200. Nobody has given me the marketing costs. Then the last one is after sales. So after sales service, we have been told and by 80%. So after sales, we have been told what? After sales and warranty by 80. So if we have been told by 80, it means I just need to take 270 minus 80. 270 minus 80 getting 100 and I think is 190. Marketing ni ngapi?
$250.
250. Thank you. Give me the total. Give me the total cost because there is nothing else to revise. So give me the revised target cost. So what is our revised target cost?
$55.50.
Good. 55.50. 55.50. That is the 7 mark. Imagine this is what we are being asked to do, and you get 7 marks. That is your revised target cost. Target cost. So if you have ever done this paper, remember that is what you are supposed to do. Now let us focus to the last one, which we're being asked about the cost gap. So we said in note number 2, to get our cost gap, we are going to be taking estimated costs minus target cost. And remember, in the question, we are being given the target cost, right? The target cost is given somewhere. The target cost is given 56. Estimated is the one that we have gotten right now. So in our estimation, because you are estimating, and this is the proposal, so the estimation is 5,550 minus 5,600. Minus 5,600. It means our cost gap will be negative 50. Our cost gap will be negative 50. Negative 50. The estimated cost minus the target cost which you are given in the question, Any question? Any question? Any question? Salat?
Niko sawa?
It's Judy?
No question.
So if you don't have any problem today, because I'm very tired and I don't